Hey everybody, what's up? Zenith Nevers here, and I would like to go into further detail as well as tackle some possible misconceptions or misunderstandings from our first Purpose of Life video. So, how many of you have asked yourself the question, what is the purpose of life? Now, many people have never gave this question much thought, so if you have, awesome. And if you haven't, that's cool too. There's nothing necessarily wrong with either one of those two possibilities. But it is one of the most common questions ever asked, and I do believe that thinking is one of the most powerful things you can do as far as personal growth is concerned, especially thinking in a questioning manner. But if you've thought about the question, what is the purpose of life? And that question has held you down to where you can't move forward, you can't move on from it, then maybe a second question should pop up. And that is, why has such a question held you hostage? Because the assurance of life is not enough. Because the declaration that you are alive is somehow insufficient. Because if you were living a life in pure euphoria, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, maybe such a question would never come to your mind. If you were living a life full of purpose, maybe you would never ask yourself, what is my purpose? Because to live is the purpose of life. To live life fully. So how do you accomplish happiness? Many people try to accomplish it by fixing themselves, by fixing their life. They think, oh, when I get that promotion, or when I get that raise, or when I get that bigger place, or when I find the love of my life, I will then be complete. I'll be happy finally. But what happens is your life becomes a series of trying to get someplace else. But you don't need to go to someplace else. Because to enjoy life is to enjoy where you currently are. To develop a gratitude attitude of what you have and what you are. Because if you don't appreciate where you currently are, even if you get to another place, when you get to that place, you won't know how to appreciate that either. You'll think then, I need another promotion, or another raise, or another house. Develop the opportunity to appreciate where you are now. Because now, the process of life, that's all we really need. That's not only all we really need, it's all we really have. You see, many people, they allow the past and the future to occupy more of their thought than the present. They think that they need to get to a particular future, and they make decisions today without paying attention to today based on decisions they made in the past. But here's the thing, the past is already gone. It's not coming back. There's nothing we can do about it. The future, when it arrives, it's no longer the future. It's now the present. And if you're not mindful of it, it'll also become the past. Now, this step that we are taking is all we have. You see, you can think about the past, but you can only think about it in the present. You can think about the future, but you can only think about the future in the present. So when you look at it like that abstract way of thinking, you realize that past and future are really only figments of thought, and they can only exist in the present, which you might be currently ignoring. And even though we need the past and the future, when these mental concepts, when this conceptual reality becomes more important than actual reality, we end up realizing, or sometimes never realizing, even worse, that the future and the past obtain a lot more of our attention than the present. But look at everybody that you've ever or will ever admire. Gandhi, Bill Gates, Mozart, Bruce Lee, Michael Jordan, Oprah, Martin Luther King, Einstein. All of these people only had 24 hours. What you do with your 24 hours is critical to your story. I don't know anything about you, but I do know this. You have legacy inside of you. Stop living as if there is no meaning in living. The first supercomputer was about the size of a building. In your pocket, you've got a computer that's 10,000 times stronger. And both of those computers were made by the greatest computer you will ever own. Your brain fires more time in one day than all of the cell phones in the world combined. It's made up of approximately 100 billion neurons. If you were to take 100 billion sheets of paper and stack them up on another, it would be over 5,000 miles high. You were given gifts by life, by nature, by God, by whatever it is you believe. But what you do with those gifts is your gift back. What are your passions? For me, it's many things. It's my friends, my family, my children, my comedy, my motivational speaking, the books that I'm writing, the children's charity that I run. I make sure that the things that I care about, the things that I'm passionate about, are filling my days. My tanks are filled with what I care about, what I'm passionate about, every single 24 hours. Paying attention to this one step. Stop living your life like it's an accident. You're not an accident. Out of billions of sperm, you were the first one to arrive. What were you in a hurry to say? What story are you destined to tell? Is that book a bestseller? Or is it going to sit on the shelf collecting dust? Get out there, man. Live a life full of purpose. Go. Get out. Seriously, go. It's over. Cut.